In my college, I was not able to sit even for a single placement through college because I had a low CGPA. But even after that, I tried to work with the TNP cell, but I could not sit for even a single placement company. And my CGPA was not even present in my resume. I just highlighted that which college I'm from, when I'm graduated, and what branch I am in, but I never mentioned my CGPA because it definitely would have been something that would have put them off. I applied for an Adobe internship. I cleared 2 rounds, and after that, some random person asked me my CGPA, because of which I got rejected right there. My 2 rounds were extremely good. I was going for the 3rd round. I had confirmation that I'll be appearing for the 3rd round, but then HR actually asked me my CGPA, and then they cancelled the interviews. Well, the very first freelance I did. Before this, I had never even worked with AWS or Azure. I had zero experience in terms of working with any cloud infrastructures. But I knew about the problem statement they wanted to solve, and I took a day and I literally watched anything and everything I wanted to watch. And then the next day we had a meeting in which I showed very clear confidence that I know how to build this and I can build this, even though I had no idea how to build this.
Hi everyone, so here is Naman. Naman, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, hi, I'm Naman. Currently I'm working in Microsoft and I've been here for the last 4 years. Before Microsoft, I was at Adobe for 2 years, and right before Adobe, I had a very short stint at D-Shaw for 4 months. I graduated in 2020 from JP Noida, and the fun fact is I graduated with a 6 CGPA, but directly went into D-Shaw after that.
So you were in the majority of the students who are not able to get a high CGPA, and generally what we say to students is at least maintain 7.5 or 8 CGPA so that you can qualify it for interviews. So how was your journey during your college? Because there are companies who visit your college. Were you able to even qualify the shortlisting bar?
Right. So in my college, I was not able to sit even for a single placement through college because I had a low CGPA. Even though I had few teachers who were extremely supportive of me, but even after that, I tried to work with the TNP cell, but I could not sit for even a single placement company. What I did different was I used to do a lot of competitive programming, and I became a candidate master on code forces. Because of which, first I had few teachers who used to support me a lot. Even if I apply anywhere, I had very good ranks at different coding competitions, which helped me a lot. For example, there was a long challenge in which I got a global rank 1, and I had taken that and put that as the very first point in my resume. And my CGPA was not even present in my resume. I just highlighted that which college I'm from, when I'm graduated, and what branch I am in, but I never mentioned my CGPA because it definitely would have been something that would have put them off.
Correct. That's amazing. So essentially, you put your biggest strength in the spotlight, not your biggest loss. That is amazing. Okay, let's come to that question. What happened when you get your first job? How did you get your first job then?
So right before I got my first job, I also did an internship, which again was something I had previously applied for multiple internships, but I never got into any. Again, like my CGPA was a huge bottleneck. I applied for an Adobe internship. I cleared 2 rounds, and after that, some random person asked me my CGPA, because of which I got rejected right there. Like I did not even, my 2 rounds were extremely good. I was going for the 3rd round. I had confirmation that I'll be appearing for the 3rd round, but then HR actually asked me my CGPA, and then they cancelled the interviews. Even though like exactly a year after, I went to Adobe as well with the same CGPA, because before that I went to D-Shaw, and now I had D-Shaw as well in my resume, because of which now Adobe was interested.
Got it.
Similarly, for going to D-Shaw as well, I actually did an internship in Makemytrip.
Okay.
And for that internship, the only thing that helped me was my competitive programming journey.
So generally startups, they are more into if you have those skills, problem solving skills, and that's all. So you got that opportunity through LinkedIn or directly applying randomly on the career?
So I got a referral.
Oh, you got a referral? Yeah. With referral, you were able to get the Makemytrip opportunity.
Yes.
Which led to a D-Shaw opportunity. That also through referral?
No, D-Shaw was actually, they had a hiring drive which was completely open. So I applied for that hiring drive with my resume only. Again, in which I had few things highlighted about my competitive programming ranks. And I got an interview. I had 4 rounds of interview, and I got into D-Shaw after that.
Got it. So your initial struggle was solved even though you had like very low CGPA. What happened later on when you switched from D-Shaw to Adobe, from Adobe to Microsoft? Did that CGPA factor came into the picture?
No, I don't think so. Since I have never mentioned about my CGPA in my resume at all, the only time when CGPA affected me was when I was appearing for Adobe for interns. Okay. Apart from that, CGPA has never been a part of my journey, or at least I kept it that way, because of which it has never been a problem for me.
Got it. So that's a hack, but that hack will only work if you're able to, if you're confident enough in your skills that you can crack interviews.
I would still say don't ever play with your CGPA. It is an important aspect. I realized this later on. I was very clear in terms of what I want to do, how I want to do it. That is why I never took CGPA as my primary thing. But let's say later on you decide to go for a master's or something, CGPA plays a very important role. And not just the CGPA part, the subjects that you are actually learning in college, some of them are actually important, because I never studied OS, DBMS, OOPS in college. I had to study everything after I graduated because I realized that, okay, I actually need these. So I started reading books on these things. So all these things are important. So it is on to you how you study them. You will have to study them.
Very valid point. See, his case can be an exception, and that exception only worked because you were talented enough in the right spots.
Yes.
So in general, if you should focus on building your CGPA in the initial years of college. So my question was, you have hidden the CGPA thing in your next companies also. For someone who is in college, who is getting low CGPA right now, or for someone who has already graduated in a service-based company maybe, how should they position themselves even with the low CGPA?
So the answer would have been different 6 years back because that time we didn't have AI so much.
Yes.
Right now, I would say the only thing that matters is how you're building with AI.
Okay.
So for me, I would say like start with something, an idea that you have, build a project. Don't be bottlenecked on, I don't know, front end or back end or design or anything. AI will help you at every pace. You have to be the person who understands everything.
Correct.
So start building something and put it out there. That will help you a lot. If you start putting it out there, a lot of people will actually get attention that, okay, this is a person who is building something. And then if you actually put that in your resume as well, and let's say you have some users as well, some very little users, but you can at least say, I did something and some people are using it. That is a very good thing to show credibility. And someone who understands the entire journey of building something.
Yes.
And is someone who can actually get hired because of that.
Okay, so one quick thing. So he's not speaking out of the things from the internet. He himself had done a lot of freelancing in his career. So how someone can get started with freelancing, because that building attitude, because I was a freelancer in college as well. What are the platforms they can go up to, because there are some saturated platforms, there are new platforms.
Right.
What would be your advice for someone to get started with freelancing?
So at least I'll tell you what worked for me. I never went to any platforms because I knew they were saturated. The only thing I did was I did some cold messaging as well to some people, and after that it has mostly been like I have been always at the right place at the right time. They wanted something to be built. I knew how to build it, or at least I showed confidence. For example, the very first freelance I did, they wanted to pivot from AWS to Azure.
Okay.
And they wanted all their deployments and everything to move from AWS to Azure.
Got it.
Before this, I had never even worked with AWS or Azure. I had zero experience in terms of working with any cloud infrastructures.
Okay.
But I knew about the problem statement they wanted to solve, and I took a day and I literally watched anything and everything I wanted to watch on YouTube with respect to that problem statement. And then the next day we had a meeting in which I showed very clear confidence that I know how to build this and I can build this, even though I had no idea how to build this. And that confidence worked somehow. I got that freelance. It was very little money also. Like it was not about the money, it was all about the learning for me. I took 2 months, built the entire thing, migrated everything, and that itself was so much of a confidence booster for me that money didn't matter at all. And that was my first freelance, how I got it. And after that, it has always been, I have been either in the right position or pitched someone, randomly met someone who wanted something to be done. And most of my freelance has always been, I don't know how to do this, but I can read about it and do it. And I just showed that initial confidence and I was able to deliver on the same.
I guess that's the most important skill for a software engineer, to quickly grasp anything and get started. Just for the audience, for the motivation, what was the highest paid gig that you did as a freelancer? What was the amount?
More than I make from my full time.
Still, we want to know that thing is already over. Dollars, rupees?
No, I would say like slightly more than what I earn in my full time. It has always been that. Like whenever
you know how much Microsoft pays to SD2s, right? You can check on the internet. Just one gig and he's earning more than what he earns at a FANG company. Okay, coming back to a point, the most important question. If someone wants to prepare in the next 90 days, what would be your roadmap for someone who is in college and for someone who is in the industry working?
I feel the biggest thing that is happening right now is you're not bottlenecked at anything. So let's say if you want to build something, you're not bottlenecked on, I don't know how to do front end or back end or something else. You can always build it. So for me, I would say like start building on the go. And that is the best way right now. Definitely apart from this, the standard things, which is like learning the theoretical concepts like OOPS, OSD, VMS, and knowing the basic things about DSA and system design, and extremely important. So always focus on that first. I would say like use the first 60 days to prepare for all these things and use the last 30 days to build something out of that. And it is not very important that you have to build something which is very domain specific or let's say dev specific. For example, when I was in college, I had zero idea about dev and I used to only do competitive programming. And I'll tell you the 3 projects that I had in my resume. The first one was tic-tac-toe, the second one was building a chess, and the third one was building a dictionary. All 3 pure algorithm based, nothing about dev work. None of them actually had a UI. They were all console terminal games. So I was able to build all the three, and they were extremely good projects.
Yes.
And as of now, I would say if I have to build the same projects, I would also add a UI on top of them, because I'm not bottlenecked on that. I can easily use AI to build a very good flashy UI for the same projects. So try to work on your strengths and try to build on top of them.
Got it. And just to define that answer a bit more, so DSA, as he said, is a much needed skill. See, when it comes to CS fundamentals, you can go to YouTube, learn from any good playlist. DSA, there are a ton of resources from Striver, from NeetCode that you can practice. Some sheets are already available. In system design, there are multiple resources like Hello Interview or the book, which is very famous.
Designing Data Intensive Algorithms.
Yeah, very popular book. Or Alex Su's System Design Interviews. And regarding the building the projects, use AI to build them. Don't restrict yourself, but just leverage your good skills or leverage your strengths. The software engineering in general has become a lot harder with AI, because now everyone can code, but not everyone can design. And not everybody is interested in designing architectures. So what would be or you want to talk more about any other career options which are emerging in the market?
So definitely applied AI engineering is something that is booming, and everybody wants people who know how to play around with AI, who know how to actually use models, not build models, but how to use these models. So that is something I would say is looking out for. You should definitely, no matter if you're in first year, second year, third year or fourth year, you should definitely start playing around with these models, even if that means just taking a simple API and making API calls to that request. You will learn a lot. You will understand, okay, what are the parameters that I can play with, how the response is changing. Eventually, you will start building on top of that. Okay, I've played around with one API. Let me start working around with orchestration platforms as well, like let's say LangChain, AutoGen, these platforms. You'll do that, you'll realize, okay, I need to learn about RAG as well. So think the very basic thing that you can take and understand, use that, find the next thing, use that, and eventually you'll find yourself learning a lot, building something with that, and that itself will become such a commodity for you that you will be able to sell it anywhere.
Absolutely. Very well defined answer. So what was your biggest struggle while you were preparing? Because resources were available, AI was not there, but resources were available and the processes were also simpler.
Right.
So what was your biggest struggle?
So the biggest thing I would say was I could practice as much as I wanted. I could go to LeetCode and practice as many DSA problems, or I could give any competitive programming contest. Similarly for Dev as well, I could try to build very simpler things. The biggest important thing that matters in an interview is how well you are able to speak and how well you are able to understand and explain your approach. For example, for my projects as well, it did not matter how complex my chess game was. It mattered how easily I was able to explain everything, because not everybody knows all the complex AI algorithms used there. Correct. So I had to find the right way of explaining everything. And for that, the only way you can get better is you practice a lot. And the only way to practice is giving mock interviews.
Absolutely.
So I was able to give 1 or 2 mock interviews, because again, mock interviews is something that is not easy to give. You have to find the right person who is willing to take a mock interview for you and is also willing to give very good feedback. Takes the time to give feedback. And you also have to have that much amount of money as well, because mock interview again is something that nobody gives for free as of now. So that becomes a problem. So given the constraint that mock interviewing is a very costly thing and it is not an accessible thing, not anyone who is studying in a tier 2 or tier 3 college can afford or can get access to good mock interviews, I have been working on something and I built a platform by the name of hiergram.ai where you can go and give any number of mock interviews for free any time of the day.
Wow, that's amazing. So it's completely free of cost, and anybody can go and practice interviews. And I remember I used to pull my friends, bribe them for some treat or something to get them sit and take my mock interview, because obviously it takes time. It takes other person's time and effort. Now, obviously with AI, having a tool which you have built, hiergram.ai, I'll also share the link in the description, that you can use and practice these interviews and obviously give him feedback so that he can improve over time. And I can understand you come from a freelancing background, so you would definitely be very much involved in building the whole product rather than giving it as a freelance job. What it is different, like how it is different from other tools available in the market, hiergram.ai.
So if you go to any platform and let's say you want to practice DSA, you can either go to LeetCode or you can watch YouTube videos or you can discuss with ChatGPT as well, like why is my solution not working. You never get a true voice-to-voice interaction in terms of how you would have to solve that problem with an actual interviewer. So what we have done is we have tried to replicate this exact thing. So what happens is when you join an interview, the AI agent will come in and take your interview for a DSA problem. It will give you a problem and you have to solve that problem run time there by talking about it. And let's say you have solved the problem, you know how to solve this problem. The agent itself will open in code editor and you'll have to code that entire approach while talking, while explaining what you're doing, why you're doing, and how you're doing it. And once you're done, it will still ask you basic complexity questions, different approaches, and how you could have made it better, or different type of ways of solving that. And eventually, once you're done, you'll get a very detailed report in terms of what you could have done better in this interview, in terms of maybe their code was not optimized, or you did not write it in the best way, all those things. A very different thing that you have done is, you might have solved the problem in the interview, but that is not the only thing that matters in an interview. It matters more how you solve that problem. Let's say, because everybody knows there are a limited set of problems on LeetCode, and most people are cramming solutions. So let's say you're given a standard DSA question, you would obviously know the solution. You don't have to say the solution out loud right there. You have to walk through the solution. And we judge you on that as well. Were you able to talk about the problem, explain the problem, discuss the test cases, come up with a very basic brute force, and then work up the hill and come up with the most optimized approach? So we evaluate you on all these things, and also the way you communicate. Were you articulative enough? Were you coherent enough in your responses? So we judge you on all the things, and we give you a very precise scoring and examples on why we are rating you like this and how you can improve better.
And what would be one piece of advice you would like to give to everyone who is watching?
So I would say, the time we are in is the best time to build something or learn something, because everything is so accessible. Previously, if you had to build something or if you had to learn something, you would have to go to a teacher and ask, or search random YouTube videos or blogs. Now you have any AI models at your hand, and you can actually ask the toughest problems you have, and it will help you with an answer. So don't bottleneck yourself in terms of, okay, I don't know this, I don't know how to do this. You have someone who can actually help you. So try to use all of these as a co-pilot for anything that you do, and try to be very AI savvy and AI forward in terms of using these, because this is the future. So it is better for you to adopt these and learn how to actually work with them rather than being on the other side.
So stop complaining and start executing, because the regret of ignorance is very costly. See, this is what we wanted to cover in this video. If you liked it, comment down your thoughts and make sure to like and subscribe the channel also. I will share his LinkedIn ID in the description below, and also the product he has built, higherground.ai. You can check it out, use it, share the feedback, and comment down anything you want me to cover on this channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye bye. Take care.